I just looked at the stock price of BYD and it's basically crashed. It's had its biggest single day fall in 5 years. There's a pretty compelling reason why this just happened. If you haven't heard about it, this is what's been happening. BYD has been accused of lying about its electric vehicles, or at least its plug-in hybrids anyway. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Got to disclose to you, I do have a little bit of money invested in BYD. I've had it for a fair while, and it's the kind of situation where I'm hoping to hold on to it, not have to spend it on cancer treatments. I may have to. We'll see what happens in the future. It's going to be one of those things. I think could be in it for the long haul here with the cancer. I'm not too sure. So yeah, I'm hoping that the stock price goes up. I just looked at the stock price. I'm like, whoa, that's a big fall. That's the biggest fall I've seen for BYD in years. 11% in what, minutes? Here is what made the price collapse. Well, for one, I mean, there's a little bit of skepticism around BYD, which I don't think is fair, because Warren Buffett is saying now, I don't really want to compete with Elon Musk. We're selling a lot of our BYD stock. They've made 11 separate trades. They've sold more than half of their position in BYD over the past 6 months. Basically slowly dumping it to try to not tank the price completely. That's what Berkshire Hathaway have been doing. But add to that what just happened, and which is this. Great Wall Motors, which have the Aura electric car brand. Great Wall Motors, they sell cars all around the world. They're one of the biggest Chinese exporter of vehicles. A lot of Australians buy Great Wall Motors cars. Of course, the Aura brand EV, you've got the Aura Good Cat, the Aura Mini Cats, the Aura Cat this, the Aura Weird Cat, Wakey Cat, Funky Cat, Chunky Cat, Monkey Cat. It's got so many different names in so many places, I've just lost track. It's very, very confusing. But anyway, it's a good car. The Aura something cat, whatever they call it, wherever you're from. But Great Wall Motor, they don't like BYD because BYD have had this amazing rise and everyone's feeling a bit threatened by them. Great Wall Motor went and took some BYD cars, tested them and said, yeah, there's something weird going on here. And it's basically throwing shade at BYD. Everyone believes Great Wall Motor are telling the truth. Stock price collapses. Great Wall Motor filed a report with China's regulators against BYD. It said on Thursday, claiming its rivals' two top-selling plug-in hybrid electric vehicles do not meet emission standards, triggering a rare public spat and, well, what we've just seen here. Are Great Wall Motor correct? I would say they probably are. I don't think they're lying about this. The reason being that, well, there's no plug-in hybrids in the world that have ever met their claims. None. It's been exposed numerous times in Europe. It's one of the key reasons why incentives for plug-in hybrids in Europe in most countries have been removed, because plug-in hybrids almost never get their claims. They're mathematically basically impossible. I thought everyone just knew this. I thought this was just common information that we all just accepted, that plug-in hybrid information was just physically impossible because it's just based on like bogus stuff like, if you drive it using battery alone, you'll get 2 liters per 100. But the thing is, after you actually finish driving on battery alone, obviously you're not going to get 2 liters per 100. But what I'm saying is 100 kilometers, right? Let's say the battery gets you 50 kilometers. Then let's say for the remaining 50 kilometers, you get, say, 4 liters per 100. You end up averaging out at 2 liters per 100 kilometers. But then, of course, the problem is now you've got no battery range left. 100 kilometers, everything you do after that is going to get you pretty abysmal range because you're now dragging a battery pack around using a gasoline engine to drive it. So I always thought people just assume this was fact. Like if you drive 1,000, let's say you drove 500 kilometers in your plug-in hybrid. Well, most plug-in hybrids have a very short electric car range. BYDs have more than others because they have bigger battery packs than their European competitors. But most plug-in hybrids, they might have like 50 kilometers of range. What happens after that 50 kilometers? Well, yeah, not good, right? Not good. I think they are a good solution if you charge them at home and if you do short trips, which most people do. So for most people, they're a good solution, but most people don't actually end up plugging them in regularly, which is insane. However, clearly, the numbers are just made up because after that 100-kilometer point, the numbers are no longer correct. And there's no way you're ever going to achieve the figures that manufacturers claim for them for this exact reason, because between the 100-kilometer to the 500-kilometer mark, your efficiency is going to be pretty poor, or at least significantly poorer than a comparable gasoline-powered car, because you're not using the battery pack anymore. You're just dragging it, and it is a fair bit of weight. Anyway, The public accusation from Great Wall, China's first listed car maker, has thrown it into a very strange open fight with BYD, the country's largest and most successful maker of EVs and plug-in hybrids, and now the biggest seller of cars in China, period. It's overtaken Volkswagen. Who would have thought that? I mean, I don't know if you said that about BYD 2 years ago when I started saying it, by the way, when they weren't the biggest, basically said it would happen. People thought you were crazy, and people even unsubscribed from this channel because they thought I was crazy for saying that this is what would happen. But that's the position that BYD are in. Now they're being targeted, fairly or unfairly. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. On Great Wall Motors' WeChat account, they said they had submitted documents in April to China's Ecology and Environment Ministry, the Industry and Information Ministry, and the top market regulator, alleging that BYD failed to meet pollutant emissions standards in two plug-in hybrid models. So basically, Great Wall Motors are actually going further than this. They're saying, actually, these vehicles pollute more from the exhaust. The exhaust pollute more. The cars pollute more than what BYD is claiming. And, well, we all knew this anyway. It's the case with most manufacturers here. Great Wall Motors basically saying, this is Volkswagen. This is Dieselgate. They're cheating on the emissions tests. The three government agencies haven't responded yet. So we don't know what the Chinese government will decide to do. We firmly oppose any kind of unfair competitive behavior and reserve the right to sue, said BYD. So BYD is saying that Great Wall Motors is using this as a marketing campaign, and they're considering suing Great Wall Motors for slandering their name. Great Wall Motor has actually accused BYD of using non-pressurized fuel tanks in its Chin Plus and Song Plus plug-in hybrids, which let the liquid inside evaporate more rapidly than it would in pressurized tanks. The Song is BYD's best-selling SUV. It's one of the best-selling cars in the world, actually. The Chin is the company's best-selling sedan. Great Wall have not provided evidence for this claim, according to the media, and they haven't explained why any issue had not been detected by regulators before. Fuel tank pressure is an issue for plug-in hybrids because they are designed to run on electric power alone at times. That means the gasoline remains in the tank longer than it would for a normal internal combustion engine vehicle, for the average person that is anyway. Pressurized tanks, which are widely used in hybrids and plug-in hybrids, are designed to limit the evaporation of gasoline and meet regulatory standards for the gasoline fumes that those vehicles emit. In the statement, BYD said Great Wall's testing was invalid. It said that Great Wall appeared to have purchased BYD vehicles and run its own tests without the third-party inspection and based on longer test distances than those required by China's regulations. It sounds to me like BYD have kind of figured out a way to get their vehicles to comply with the tests, but real world, maybe not so much. That's pretty normal with the automotive industry. Am I saying I agree with BYD doing this? I'm not, but I'm just saying they are probably one of just many manufacturers doing this. BYD have said they welcome a regulatory review as long as it's based on the tests, not on real world. I think that's what BYD is saying. And that's probably fair. It's not cool, but it's fair. We hope everyone will act in a way that is beneficial to the industry and Chinese brands, BYD said. The development of the new energy vehicle business has not been easy. BYD has faced scrutiny over fire risks linked to batteries in its vehicles over the last few months, and there has been a few fires in them, primarily though in their plug-in hybrids. Last year, the automaker expanded a recall of another plug-in hybrid model, the Tang DM, after finding a risk that water could get inside the battery pack. There's been videos about the claimed fire problems with BYD's cars, but like I said, almost all the video we have are of plug-in hybrids using not BYD's blade batteries, but using their lithium ternary batteries. And you can't buy those cars outside of China, so it doesn't really affect anyone outside of China. Now, I personally think if you're dumb enough to buy a plug-in hybrid and you live in China, you kind of almost deserve what you get. That sounds a bit harsh, but I mean, why on earth would you do that? I don't get it. You can buy electric cars in China with 800 plus kilometers of range for affordable prices. Why would you go and buy a plug-in hybrid? The most complicated vehicle ever invented in the history of humanity. It is. The plug-in hybrid is so complicated. It's just bizarre. It's insane. I can't understand why anyone would do this. However, has there been fires in some of those cars? Absolutely, there has. I have not seen, though, more than maybe 2 images of BYD's electric cars with blade batteries having fires. And 2 videos when there's millions of them driving around really means nothing. So the fully electric cars from BYD with the blade battery, I still believe are not having fire issues. Right now, though, BYD, it is in the midst of a bit of a media crisis right now. These accusations from Great Wall Motor, I mean, I think they'll probably turn out to be correct based on what Great Wall Motor is saying, but incorrect based on the so-called Chinese testing, which is probably going to be fairly lenient, especially when it comes to their own cars, and especially when it comes to the biggest manufacturer now of vehicles in China, who are just set to export their cars all around the world. So that's the news. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.